The next item on the agenda is a update on the Roanoke Avenue Sidewalk cafe. If you will handle that for us.
Yes, sir. Council, you may recall that some of the council asked me to look at what documents would be needed from a legal standpoint in order to authorize that to be sidewalk cafes, that is, some of the businesses on certain areas within the city of Roanoke Rapids, to place tables and chairs on the sidewalk, on part of the sidewalk for the city, and in addition to that, to be allowed to sell and allow their customers to consume alcoholic beverages on there. My answer was then, and it continues to be today, that there were basically 4 different documents that would be needed. 3 of those documents I could prepare as the city attorney, and I'll cover those just briefly. One of those documents would be a change to the ordinance. Currently, the city has an ordinance that does not permit any open alcoholic beverages on city property unless it has been authorized by city council, such as at some functions that take place within the city. And during my tenure, the council has from time to time authorized that. So that ordinance would need to be changed to allow the sale, possession, and consumption of alcoholic beverages on the sidewalk area in front of those businesses. I drafted a proposed change in that ordinance that is attached in your package for this evening. The second document that would be needed would be a change in the city ordinance and code providing for an application process, that is for the owner, operator of that establishment itself, to apply to the city for a permit to be allowed to operate such a function there. And I will say this, with the help of my good friend, Mr. George Gurley, who did a substantial amount of work on this, we were able to put this together, and I have prepared that, and that also is in your package this evening. Now, the one other document that would be needed on my behalf would be simply a lease or encroachment agreement that the individual property owners would have to have. I did not go forward and draft that because I thought it was premature at this point. The 4th and last document is, as the council well knows and we've discussed, not all the areas in Roanoke Rapids, but the Roanoke Avenue part of Roanoke Rapids is a state-maintained road. And that part of the state-maintained road extends and covers the sidewalk area up to the front of the building. So in order for the city to allow this type of operation, there's got to be an agreement by the state of North Carolina, the Department of Transportation specifically, authorizing that by way of an encroachment agreement. We have researched that. Mr. Gurley has researched that, and the Department of Transportation has researched that. Mr. Ronnie Keeter. We find no such document on record where it has been authorized in the past or where they have permitted that. It's not to say they won't do it, but I could draft that document, and it would have to be submitted to the Department of Transportation, and then they would forward it to the Attorney General's office. But until they give some kind of preliminary indication that they're willing to do that and that the city wants to move forward with it, I do not think it was the best use of city resources at this time. I'm prepared to go forward with it whenever council authorizes me to do that. Thank you.
So what we were really waiting on is some type of document from the state to authorize this also.
That's right. And since they don't have any precedent of having done that, of this nature, they're going to rely upon the advice of the Attorney General as far as whether to move forward or not.
Well, this came up this afternoon at 1 o'clock at the Uptown Downtown Merchants meeting, and they were informed of that, of what the situation was. But, and they also have requested, for the council's information, be put on the agenda, which has been done for the, next council meeting, which is May the 12th, in Roanoke. Does anyone have a question?
I do have one question, and I know we're not acting on it tonight, but it sounds like it's forthcoming, I guess, to yea or nay. My question is on the indemnity insurance.
Yes, sir.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit in relation to the city's liability in that?
Absolutely. Absolutely, I'd be glad to do that. If an encroachment agreement is given to the city by the Department of Transportation, that in effect allows the city to have control of that area. The reason I put the liability insurance indemnity agreement in there is that if the city permits it and there is a lawsuit that results from some conduct, whether it's because of an intoxicated person or anything else, since the city permitted it, the city could have some liability, not that they would, but that they could. So I put the indemnity agreement in there that is requiring the business owner operator to apply for and have in effect a liability insurance policy that would protect the city. And Mr. Gurley and myself looked at several different agreements from different cities such as Winston-Salem and different areas, and I chose to put the highest limits of any of them in there because I felt like that would best protect the city of Roanoke Rapids.
Thank you. I do have one other question that's on that line in relation to, again, this proposed change to the city code. That will be throughout the city, or is there a
No.
just the sidewalk? We got sidewalks.
It could be at any location that the council chose to make it, but what Mr. Gurley and myself talked about was that area where the sidewalk cafes would be on Roanoke Avenue and any of the overlay areas, but city council could make it effective at any location that they chose to, in my opinion.
Anyone else have a question?
I don't have a question, but I have a statement, Mr. Mayor. I think that we should have a public hearing on this so the public will have an opportunity to express their feelings about it, good or bad. And of course, after we've heard from everybody, then we'll have a chance to make a decision on this.
I'll definitely agree with that.
Okay. So, since that has come up, probably we should act on motion from the council as far as holding a public hearing on this matter.
Excuse me.
It is going up now. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, at this time then, and Lisa, you'll need advertisement time, won't you? Okay. So at this time, I will entertain a motion that to hold a public hearing on the Roanoke Avenue Sidewalk Cafe proposal. And I would like to set that public hearing at the next council meeting. Do I hear that motion?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion that we do that.
Do I hear a second?
Same.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? There being no discussion, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, and ayes have it. Thank y'all very much.